And we're live.
What it do, Cornerstoners? My name is Johnny Warbucks, and this is another episode of The Rapper's Corner. Joining me from the crew is Sir Puffalot,
What up?
Kalishnikov Red, and then our guest on today's show is a Denver legend who's been making a lot of noise, the Colorado Kaiju himself. What is your name? Where are you from? What do you do?
What's up, guys? I'm Sixth Element. I represent New Golden Era Hip Hop. That's my label. I'm a hip hop producer, MC, engineer, and just entrepreneur in general. So just working to build hip hop culture out here in the Mile High City and take it global, really. So,
yo, that is what's
Nice.
up, man. I think the real question that people want to know today is Spider-Man the best comic book superhero of all time, man?
oh man, I don't know. We were just talking about that Spider-Man cup I just bought, but personally, I like Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer's
a crazy one, man.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just comic books in general. So yeah,
I like Galactus a lot, even though he's not a superhero.
I love Galactus.
But Silver Surfer and Galactus, you know what I mean? So
yeah, that's why I like Silver Surfer, is just that combination. And just the whole storyline. It was.
When I first saw Silver Surfer, man, I was doing the whole Marvel card collections, and I see this character. He's just all silver on the surfboard. The card is vicious, right? And I never really got into his comics, man. And off of the strength of just how cool he was, man, I got the Nintendo game, and that game was
Nintendo game was awesome, though.
That game was hard as fuck, though. That shit wasn't right, man. No, what's the best comic books of all time? Six, what do you think?
I'm a pretty big Marvel guy. I'll read DC every now and then, but I just kind of stick to Marvel. I'm a big X-Men guy too, so I'm
me too.
Definitely excited to see them
What about Image? Do you like Image?
I do like Image, yeah, for sure. Honestly, I haven't been to the comic book store in a while, because when I start going to the comic book store, what happens is then every week I'm going there spending $200 on all the new releases, So.
Yeah, you have them save them for you, and you started making the list.
Oh yeah, you get the whole box, and then you show up, and then the stack's this long one day.
That's also
Going back, sorry, John. Going back to what you were saying, though, I am excited to see them coming up in the new the X-Men coming into the new Marvel universe. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight.
Yeah. Yo, it's gonna be hella fire, man. I hope they do it right this time for sure, man. They always X-Men's been a struggle piece on the joint. They basically put the whole comic book attraction on Hollywood and turned it into what it is, and then they just fell way off after that second film. And they've been trying to pick it up ever since. I like the First Class joints, man. I like those movies or whatever. But
yeah, those were good. I always, I'm excited as well for the Fantastic Four, because we mentioned Silver Surfer and Galactus, and the first Fox movies from Fantastic Four. The first one wasn't bad, but then the second time when they tried to do Silver Surfer, and then Galactus showed up to be a cloud.
That ain't right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So hopefully they do bring Silver Surfer back into the foray and all that, and Galactus is going to be dope if they do it right. But we'll see, man. We'll see. On this hip hop, man, when did it all start, man? How did you catch this hip hop bug? What happened?
Man, it's been a long journey now. I started just my musical journey. I was kind of more into punk rock back in the day.
Okay.
Back when I was 6th grade, 7th grade, and then ended up coming across, started listening to Wu-Tang, and Cannabis was really the one who kind of sparked it for me, because I guess that's where I didn't really, up until I guess I heard Cannabis, I didn't really know how far people could go lyrically. I just heard the radio rap, you know what I mean? And I was just really wasn't for me at the time. And then, Master Thesis, specifically the song by Cannabis, I heard just the wordplay on that, and I was just this is fucking crazy,
It's poetry, man. It's poet laureate, right? Dude, yeah, same here, man. Cannabis, definitely. I was listening to all the radio stuff. I was a big West Coast cat, and so I was listening to a lot of, Ruthless and Death Row. So anything from those camps, I was just completely encompassed in, until someone handed me a Wu-Tang tape, until someone handed me a Mobb Deep tape, and then it was just all that East Coast stuff. And it wasn't until Cannabis surfaced and then Big Pun surfaced, and then Tupac mentions Chino XL's name on the radio, and then I go looking into him, and then Eminem comes out, and you start realizing that there's a lot of gymnastics and acrobatics happening on the pin side of it, outside of just like image and vibe overall. Like there's like technical stuff, and that's definitely what I gravitated to.
It's funny because like I was listening to hip hop like from the get go, like back, right, and I've introduced both these cats to a lot of like songs and stuff, a lot of artists, but I never knew about cannabis until John introduced me to cannabis.
Yeah,
and like his whole like wordplay, it's like the stepping up the game basically. And then I was like, yo, that's pretty intense. And then I heard people like Chino XL, and I was like, that to me is the rap god. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, when it comes to the lyrical stuff, like nobody, in my opinion, nobody
on a technical aspect, there's nobody. His pen can't be touched.
And him being like Latin, I was like, yo, mad props to him. You know what I mean? So like, but Chino XL, like that blew my mind, and I would have. I heard Chino XL. I heard that song. What was that? I'm a creep. I'm a loser.
Yeah,
that one, right? But I didn't get into Chino XL until like a little bit later, like really into it. And again, that was John. So like,
played Nuka, and then that was about it.
Yeah, forget about it. Like it's tight. But no, I and when you listen to you flow, you can actually like hear the game stepped up a little bit with you as well. You know.
Yeah.
So, that pride and confidence for sure comes through with what you're doing, dude.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I definitely, that's what I search for, man. I think, once I started hearing those MCs and that really lyrical hip hop is when I started to realize it's limitless, and it's just, it's a challenge against myself to figure out like what I can put to page and how I can say what I'm trying to say, and how I can, multi-layer that up in different, multi-syllables and multiple layers. So definitely just challenging myself, but then also being able to do that in a way that's also still going to be digestible for not necessarily the masses, but for enough people to gain listenership.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the one thing that Chino kind of did was like dive into such complicated stuff. Like Razcaz was like that too. That was one of the cats that I got into, where you're not like bumping this shit, you're sitting down listening to this shit,
Yeah.
And since we got on this topic already, man, I'm gonna say that Collision of Copperhead and I recently actually had a chance to go to this intimate performance by Chino XL at the DC branch of the Hip Hop Museum.
Okay.
And it was just an incredible experience. So he's easily one of our favorite rappers, as you can tell. And then it looks like you've had a chance to actually like record a song with him, right?
Yeah.
Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, Halloween Havoc.
How did that come together, man? How did that come together?
It was kind of it kind of just happened. I was been building with New Golden Era. That's been my page that I've been building on Instagram and my website. So my overall platform and label, and just overall supporting hip hop culture. What I had found is that a lot of people are thinking that they're in competition with everybody, and so they don't support everybody. So New Golden Era, the whole point of it was I'm going to go out and I'm going to make my music, but I'm also going to support as much dope music as I can. So that way everyone is building a whole ecosystem of support, really, So
that's dope.
I, to be honest, I'm not like super heavy into Chino XL to be, if I'm to be honest, like I've definitely listened to him, and obviously like studied his pen game and everything like that. But he reached out to me and he was like, hey, what you're doing here is super dope. You're doing a lot for the culture here. So if you ever want to work, let me know. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy because obviously I know who Chino XL is. It's not like it's not like I'm not a fan. It's just not something that I
you weren't looking to do
it. I wasn't necessarily looking to do it. But once he hit me up, I was like, I got to make that happen. And at that point, I'd been working with a producer, Wax 100, beatmaker Wax 100.
Oh yeah,
who did that beat, and I just found that beat, and I was like, I think this is the one for Chino XL, and kind of came up with the concept, wrote my verse out, sent it to him, and he came back with his verse, and everything just really flew
That was
perfectly.
Cool, man.
So
Cool.
it was crazy to be hit up by a legend like that, you know, and
Yeah.
like, because it wasn't something, you know, I had like a whole list of features that I was like, I want to get these features done this next year, and you know, it wasn't necessarily something I had planned for, but it worked out, and it was, you know, it's really a dope track. So
Then you know you're doing something right, man. Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Like if that doesn't give you a little bit of hair on your chest, man, to beat on your drums, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, come
Yeah,
on, dog.
it
That's
definitely
super
did.
cool.
It
That's
definitely
super
did.
cool. We'll be listening to Halloween Havoc later on in the show,
Yeah.
man. You can
Yeah.
just see Chino definitely came and brought a Chino verse on that record, dog. It is fire. It's the beat is super dope. I can't wait to share it with everybody. And you're talking about kind of building with like the community and building that whole culture in the whole Denver, Colorado area. I caught you on a couple of I caught you on Grind Mode Cypher
Oh, yeah.
Denver Volume 14 last year. There was you did Secret Sessions Volume 9, and then I also Bars and Boulder Volume 4. Dude, that's so cool, man. That entire scene, that backpack and Grind Mode shit is super dope, man. How did y'all link up? What was that process like? What were those experiences like, man?
Those were all super dope experiences. We had they had came to Denver the year before the Bars and Boulder one that I did.
Yeah.
And so I had seen it, just seen some of the rappers that I know posting it up. So I missed the first one, but you know, ended up just staying in contact with them for when they came back. And then once they did that Bars and Boulder was the first one that I did. And
cool. Yeah, it's dope.
yeah, it was a really dope experience, because it's just, you know, something where it's, you know, you get sent out the beat from the producer that's made, and then, you know, obviously there's about 10 other MCs that are hopping on that track as well too, but usually you don't hear any of those verses until on that day, you know, the day that you're actually recording the
Yeah.
video.
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough.
So you're just kind of knowing that, you know, you're in competition kind of with a bunch of different, you know, rappers, but it's not necessarily competition. It's just, you know, stepping up yourself, making sure that you're going to be able to
How are you going to stand
at
out?
that level. Yeah, you want to stand out. You want to be able to make sure that your presence is known, and you're, you know, putting on for the city as well too. Because if it's, you know, if it has Denver on there, if it has Boulder on there, I want to make sure that, you know, we're representing. We're not putting out some bullshit, you know. So
when you do this performance, it's essentially a live performance. Yeah. Do you when you're doing your shit, if you fuck up, it's like, wait, hold on, guys, I gotta go back and do this again, or is this like your one shot? You get this right, or you don't.
It is a one shot. So
Yeah.
I mean, well, you got two shots. You know, they will do two takes, and so if you mess up your first one, they'll have another take or whatever. So you just got to make sure that you know, find your place again. You don't, if you stumble a little bit, find your words, you know, get back at it. They're usually pretty good at cutting it together to where if you do fuck up, they'll figure it out, maybe cut to a, you know, different shot or whatever. But the way that it'll typically work is like, really, you don't get the final product until that day. So usually I'll be driving down to the cypher, you know, and listening to everybody else's verses, listening to the final product. That way I can remember like where I'm supposed to come in, you know, basically, because it's not rehearsed, you know. So you just have to know, like, all right, I'm after this dude over here or this dude over here, you know. And that's the hardest part for me a lot of times is I'll have my bars memorized, but like just knowing like who am I supposed to come after, you know?
I would imagine that while you're driving down there, and this is now the first time you've heard everybody's shit, like you're like, fuck, like did I hit this right? Man, that dude really fucking came through. Do you ever just like in the moment go, fuck this, I'm gonna do something different? Like,
well, it's at that point it's already recorded. So what you laid
so
down, it's done. You know what I mean? So there's definitely times where I'm like, damn, this dude went harder than me. You know what I mean? Like I can admit that I know I'm like, all right, yeah, these other dudes, they went harder than me. I'm like, my goal is usually that I want to try to be either the dude who's kicking off the cypher or the dude who's in the end. But you know what, I think I kind of also realized I kind of messed myself over on that by calling myself Sixth Element, because then they're like, well, it's just easy to put you in the sixth place because you're, you know,
yo, that's great. That's funny. They're like, yo, you're gonna go six because you are six.
Because I'm six.
So
you're six no matter what.
Real quick, can you explain the background of your name?
Yeah, well, so I've gone through a couple transitions on the name. Really, I mean, to be, I guess, just kind of like general about it, just kind of about growth in hip hop. And, you know, of course, there's me, I guess depends on who you ask how many elements of hip hop there are. A lot of people will say 5, if you're including knowledge, you got it. I personally always include that knowledge, but for me, 6th element, it's really kind of what you make it. I feel like there's multiple more elements of hip hop that just aren't discussed. For me, I grew up skateboarding. That's how I got into hip hop. A lot of it as well too is just skateboarding with the homies and Tony Hawk games and the soundtracks on the Tony Hawk games.
No joke.
So I just feel that there's a lot more that can lead people to hip hop than just like the 5 elements that are discussed, and there's a lot more to the culture. So that's kind of
like you take like back in the day skating. I was into skating too. The Jinko pants, Jinko's logos and stuff are like graffiti. It's like what I'm saying. It's like always having graffiti on there. So there's hip hop right there, like in the skating culture.
But you know how they say hip hop is everywhere. So it is what it is.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's I'm not like trying to say like I am the 6th element. You know what I mean? That's why I'm not the 6th element. I'm just like 6th element. It's just kind of open for interpretation as far as whatever you believe the 6th element for you is in hip hop.
I dig that.
That's
cool.
That wow factor, that mystery, whatever.
Yeah.
Notch, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I dig it because it's allowing for others that usually wouldn't get into hip hop to get into hip hop without that. Oh no, I don't belong because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, no. So I like that. I like that philosophy, man. That's good. I wanted to get the background of that name because it's a cool name.
Yeah, I came up with I was like 14 or something, high school. When I was in high school is when I came up with that name. And then my first demo tape that I put out, it was called King James VI because my real name's James. So I then just kind of transitioned King James VI. That caught on for a while to where that was my actual artist name for a few years. But then I got tired of being compared to LeBron James in that being, calling myself King James. Obviously I kind of set myself up for that. So then I was just like, I'm gonna go back to 6th element and just kind of go with that brand. So
that's cool, man. It's cool. Like I've had a plethora of names. You know what I mean? My like evolution in hip hop. These 2 cats, I don't know. Well, John maybe, but like Sir Puff, like he's always kind of been. No, he's been Roach too.
Yeah.
That was like when I was 17.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of names. We all go through that, right, man? I was the lyrical bullet. I was a big Bone Thugs cat, man, and all that Midwest stuff. So 3 6 Mafia, Tech 9, any of those cats, do or die. Anybody who was rapping fast, I was about that life, and straight up like that guy. I was just spitting as fast as possible back in the day. Dude. That was like a big part of it. Was just mastering that ability to
Yeah.
Lyrical bullet. Yeah. Cerberus.
Cerberus.
Three-headed guardian. The Hades. Yep. The dog. Yep.
Yeah.
So but I mean, we all go through all these different names, man.
Yeah, I think that's the dope thing about hip hop. It's like, the Wu-Tang thing. I mean, they all have, 10 different nicknames.
All these alter egos.
And then all the time when I'm writing, I'm like, oh, that's dope. Like you introduced me as Colorado Kaiju, like I like coming up with additional alter egos, it's
man.
Just one,
And I feel like they're all supposed to represent different attributes of who you are, right? And sort of how Eminem did Slim Shady was that person who's spitting in your onion rings or whatever, right? Yeah. But like I was, Cerberus, Red will tell you, like we write a lot of dark shit. And so Cerberus was always on that dark shit. Johnny Warbucks.
I was like Spider Monk. No,
Spider Monk.
Spider Monk back in the
for DPS. What was it?
The Pole Society, yeah.
Man, I get that. As a producer and an MC, I always publish my MC stuff as Sir Puff a lot, but like I do some production under Grandmaster of Shaolin. It's like different personality. Like part of me, like just beats, chill. It's got that.
Yeah,
see, for me right now, everything's under Kalishnikov, right? Music, beats, rhymes, songs, whatever. Everything. I'm just gonna make it easy. Everything on one side.
Yeah. I do have a secret beat alias. I'm not disclosing that right now. That'll come out to the world. But there's music out there under a secret beat alias I got.
Oh, dude, I love it, man. I love it. MF Doom, Metal Fingers. Go ahead, man. Yeah. So with Golden Era, you're really gaslighting boom bap hip hop, right? Like that's a big part that you're trying to preserve and bring back. I wanted to hear if you got a list of like a couple of boom bap, like a top 5 boom bap artists from back in the day. Is there anyone new we should be checking out? Like, what do you think about?
Yeah,
about
for sure, man. I mean, obviously there's, the classics. I grew up on, Gangstar, all the classics, but, I guess now you're putting me on the spot here. I got a whole list, if
it's a never-ending list. Dude.
yeah. I got for one thing, I guess one thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, like, just to make it easier, it's the ever revolving list.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to give a couple people a shout out though. Where one dude specifically, I guess I'll just kind of mention that I've been following recently is Mickey Diamond. I don't know if you guys have
Mickey Diamond.
Yeah, he's got some really dope shit going on with what he's been doing. He's been putting out a lot of limited edition vinyls. And so what I've been noticing, those limited edition vinyls sell really quickly as well too. He'll put out an album and then he'll put it out on vinyl, only have 1,000 copies of it, and they'll sell that day, and like it's really dope. Like Boom Bap, like it's one of his albums is called Aurora Saki or
Aurora Saki.
Yeah.
Splinter, right?
Yeah, Splinter.
No, that's crazy.
And no, Shredder. It's Shredder.
No, it's Shredder. It's Shredder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the whole album is told from Shredder's perspective.
That's awesome.
And he has another one that's like Ric Flair based. So I've been fucking with Mickey Diamond a lot recently. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So he has a lot of dope shit coming out. Otherwise, like Rome Street's pretty dope as well too. But if you get a chance to check out on Spotify my playlist, Fresh Kicks Boom Bap, that's where all of the new artists that I'm discovering is being put onto that playlist. So that way it's just really bringing listeners to everybody who's on that playlist, and hopefully helping to trigger those algorithms to get some Spotify growth for them as well.
We gotta make sure to put his website on the link for reals. Like, yeah, we can't. I'm just forget because we can't.
So Nicky Diamond.
Mickey Diamond.
My bad, Mickey.
Yeah.
Mickey Diamond. Okay, we got you. Yeah. We'll definitely link him up on our stuff. We do playlists for our artists as well, dude. Anybody that we bring onto the show, we try to showcase and all that. But yeah, that's super dope, man. I'm personally like a big fan of storytelling, raps, introspective lyrics. Would you say that this is your wheelhouse?
That's what I'm working on. The storytelling, I think, is something that is always difficult for I don't know, just for me it's I don't know, sorry, I'm getting stumbled up on my words here, but that is definitely my focus, is to be able to tell a story, present a narrative to my audience.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely find myself inspired a lot by Master Ace in that
Dude,
respect,
What was that? What was the name of that album, man?
Disposable Arts.
Disposable Arts, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like my Master Ace like later stuff, but I also like that.
Master Ace, Slaughterhouse Incorporated, right?
Like Born to Roll.
It's like where he's like Elvis Presley, move your hips. That car one, man, that was my jam, man. Like,
yeah. So I think like his longevity is crazy, as an MC, and I think a lot of that is because of his storytelling and his ability to really be able to paint a picture. Like Disposable Arts, that whole album is like a movie,
Yeah, it is a movie. And it's one of my favorite concept albums for sure.
Yeah,
he's up there. He's definitely up there. I mean, if we're talking about that, and like, so for me, I mean, obviously there's Slick Rick, obviously, and that's been. But then, like, you hear like people like Immortal Technique. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's able to tell some
like
damn stories.
the whatever that the one
Dance with the Devil.
Oh yeah.
Right. And then it's hard for me to be like this guy, you know what I mean? Because I feel like everybody has the
ability to tell stories, but it's about who can do them really well, though, right? Like Biggie, Nas, like when they do stories, they do them incredibly well.
You can even go back to like Beastie Boys, because
Beastie Boys is a little story I want to tell.
what I'm saying. It's like everybody can do it, and I feel like, I mean, not everybody can do it, and
people do it, but then there's heads that just do it exceptionally well.
Yeah. Because I mean, I do it, you do it, and I know Six does it. You know, we all do it. So it's hard for me to be like, okay, well, that guy's the best. You know, I just
I mean, that's the same thing. This is why I don't like doing like, hey, who's your top 5 favorite rappers of all time. That's why I even said I was like, name a couple, and then I was like, I don't know, like a top 5, like because tomorrow that list will change.
Yeah.
You know, and next week, next month, that list is going to change. It's about like, because there's just so much to take in and absorb in this genre of music that I can't just say, well, these are my top 5, because I have top 5 100 different ways. It just depends on where my head's at, what it is I'm focusing on, what I'm into in that moment. Yeah.
All that shit. Yeah, man. So yeah, no, it's cool though, but like, you know, again, my whole like, and I'm, you know, I shouldn't be this way, but it is 85, 86 to like 96, 98. I'm just like, all right, that's my spot. After that,
we all have a wheelhouse, man, that we came up in, but that doesn't define, like, it doesn't end there.
No, but see,
that's where you're at and you focus.
But that's it's like Renee, Lost Boys, to me, is one of the stories ever. You see what I'm saying? So yeah.
And in the modern world, I'm going to give it to Joyner Lucas, man. I like Joyner Lucas's stories. When he's doing stories, like Joyner is really dope with it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that too. I mean, it has to do with the production, because I think, you know, it all has to tell the story. It can't just be the rapper telling the story. The beat has to tell the story. The engineer has to understand the story to be able to put that into the mix and know how to mix that story. And you know, even, you know, whether if you're bringing in a DJ, like everyone has to be on kind of that same page of that story as well too. And that's you know, I think what makes hip hop unique. And I know it's evolving in ways, you know, which is, you know, I'm seeing a lot of what's really popular right now is like the NF and like, you know, even like Dax and stuff like that, which stuff I don't really mess with it too much, but he tells a story. That's what is, you know, that's why he's able to bring that audience along with him, and the production is good, and the videos, you know, they fit that narrative, you know. So
they fit that narrative. Yeah. I fuck with both of them. I fuck with NF a little more than I do Dax. I like both of them.
Yeah.
But I'm not like I don't study, not the way I used to, you know.
Yeah.
You know, Logic too. I like Logic a lot, but I don't study Logic. I fuck with him though.
Yeah, for sure.
No, that's cool, man. Noticing a couple of posts you were bringing up to defend some KRS-One and Rakim. You know, a lot of the legacy artists seem to get discredited and kind of washed away by some of the younger generation. And that's always, you know, I mean, it's give and take. It's not everybody. I'm not just like writing off like an entire generation of people, but it seems to be sort of the narrative today. When we're talking about KRS-One and Rakim in specific, who do you got over the other? I know both is the answer. I know both is the answer. But if you were going to stand your ground today, KRS-One or Rakim?
Oh, I'm going to have to go with Rakim on that. You know, he's the god. You know, nothing to discredit KRS or anything like that. But I just, you know, if I have to take a quick pick, that's going to have to be Rakim on that.
What about Red? What do you think, man? I know you get stuck on this one, man. Who you picking if you got to pick the two?
Hard, man, because look, like to me, KRS comes with knowledge. Obviously, knowledge reigns supreme, and I love knowledge. But Rakim puts me like, okay, I put it like this: when I listen to KRS-One on my headphones, like I feel like he's rapping to a whole bunch of heads. When I listen to Rakim on my headphones, I feel like he's directly in front of me, rapping to me.
Yo, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
So like the 13th letter, you know, the everything from like this always happens to me. All the old school stuff, Eric D and Rakim,
of course.
Like it's just and I like jazz. And you always hear that people talk about when Rakim flows, he flows as if like a trumpet was playing the jazz solo, and it's true, and I hear it. So I love KRS, man, but Ra is Ra. That's it.
We recently, when I say recently, in the past couple of years, we had a chance to see both of these artists perform live at shows, and I would say in my personal opinion, I thought KRS-One had the more intense show. I thought he had a better performance. Rakim was dope, man. It was dope. I love that everything about that show. I love, but I mean, there's just for whatever reason that KRS-One performance really stuck out to me, man.
Yeah, no, I mean it was beautiful because we saw Rakim, Chabrak, KRS-One, Tretch. We saw all the old school heads, Queen Latifah, everything, and it was like, man, like you know they're like 60-something years old. They're still running around on stage. I think even who was it, KRS or Rakim, or Chabrak? One of them like started breakdancing. I was like, what? You know?
That was Big Daddy Kane, yo. Like he started dancing on the stage. Like he was like, people think, I'm this old that I don't still got it. I still got it. And then he just got on and did this whole shit. Yeah, that was live, dude. That was totally live, man.
Yeah. Man, I'm bummed I hadn't got to see a lot of those guys. I hadn't got to see KRS-One. I actually won tickets to a Big Daddy Kane concert on the radio like years ago. But then my car broke down on the way to the Big Daddy Kane concert.
That sucks.
And then last year Rakim was playing here, and then the show got delayed due to COVID, and then later after that it got like just straight up canceled. So like I have had bad luck with trying to see some of those 80s legends. It just hadn't been able to get to those shows.
We've been making it a point to kind of do like the pilgrimage, right? Like we're like doing a bucket list thing, and in the past couple of years we really have been like, look, we haven't seen them yet, we got to see them, and just trying to kind of whittle down that old school list. We've gone through a lot of heads.
Yeah.
We're lucky for that.
It's the other thing too, man. I was gonna ask you because like my sister lives over there in Colorado, in Boulder, right?
Mm-hmm.
She just moved over there, right?
My wife is from Denver.
Okay.
So like she's always trying to get me to go out there and visit, and I do want to. Just right now, it's been kind of hectic with my dog. He's got diabetes. I got there, give him a shot and everything. So yeah, until that part of my life is finished, I'm gonna be here, but. Colorado is like the place I definitely want to visit. So how's the hip hop scene in Colorado? Like,
I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit tough. I've been in Colorado my whole life. Kind of growing up between both Denver and Boulder. I spent a lot of time in both.
That was my wife too.
Yeah. And so both cities are really great. I think what I've noticed as far as living in Colorado my whole life is that the people here kind of have a hard time supporting their own until we have success outside of Colorado. When I grew up here having most people were from Denver here, but like half the people are Lakers fans and half the people are Raiders fans, you know what I mean? But they're born here, and then now everyone's Nuggets fans here now because we won a championship, you know what I mean? So there's not a lot of, to be honest, just support for our own here in Colorado. So I'm trying to help change that, as much as I can. Because even to get on a show, it's kind of, it's difficult. I'm at a point where right now I don't want to have to sell tickets to get on a show. Like you have to go and like put a $300 deposit down to get tickets. And then I have to go and sell those tickets to make my money back,
right.
And that's almost how all the shows happen around here. You just
like
try to get on a free show,
hardcore.
So it's tough, but there are hip hop heads out here. I think it is more of a kind of EDM and jam band focused music scene in general, which makes it tough for rappers. And I think a lot of shows right now are, it is kind of leaning a little more towards the trap side and like horrorcore and emo rap side right now too. So
big time. I hear that.
Yeah. So it's a lot of I think everyone is still in competition with each other. They think they're in competition with each other, but it really needs to just get to a point where we all need to decide that we're, it's time to grow and time to show what Colorado is. And I think it's starting to happen. I think like Coach Prime coming here to Colorado has shined a light on Colorado a little bit. And I think that's really kind of starting to show like, this is a place that we can grow and it can happen. It's just people kind of need to change their attitude and kind of change the way they're going about it.
We kind of run into the same problem here in Virginia, DC area. Like there's a lot of awesome talent over here, but a lot of people they're like crabs in a barrel trying to hold you down.
Yeah.
Like hate you or, and that's what we're trying to change as well. but not just here. Like I said earlier before the show, we're trying to do it like everywhere. So there isn't that stigma of certain cities, certain states. Because who do we have? We have Lady of Rage. She never talks about being from Virginia. We have Timbaland and Magoo, rest in peace. Timbaland.
like Magoo.
Oh, he's out there, but he's not like repping. So Eclipse is the other one, which is I'm like never really.
I mean, Pusha T, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mad Skills. He reps VA.
He does. But that's what I'm saying. I feel like if you ain't in New York and you're in California, I think that's just it's always going to be that way, man. Or Atlanta now.
Yeah. See, it's tough. I think one thing though is like there's just like no one's really coming out of Colorado yet. We got Trev Rich who's kind of come out. I don't know if you guys know Trev Rich, but Trev Rich, like Black Pegasus, made a little bit, did a little bit back in the day, and he's still, still doing some stuff. But we just really need to find a few people to actually like really break through and kind of change the narrative in
hey man, you're the one that's going to be able to do it, brother.
That's what I'm working on. And that's why I established New Golden Era to be like, like I'm not a Denver rapper. I'm a hip hop artist. I represent this whole culture.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to show the whole culture what I can do, and then eventually, Denver's going to follow that lead. They'll
shine.
So with the time allotted, what I want to try to do is I want to get to Golden Era, but I want to first talk about some humble beginnings and talk a little bit about Keep Music Going studios out in Boulder and like what kind of happened with that. How did you get into that and how did you evolve from it?
Yeah. So, I'd always been recording like back in the day when I first started. I started first trying to engineer and record back in when I was like 14. Started producing for my homies, and then eventually started rapping myself. Eventually I had a kid, so kind of I wanted to go to Full Sail out in Florida. Full Sail's the big engineering school out there. Didn't end up being able to make that happen, but I really had the lucky experience to come across it's KMG Studios, which was located in Denver at the time. They were located in Boulder when I started actually going to school there, and then moved back to Denver. But in Boulder, they had it set up to where it's a full engineering academy, basically, instead of just going through the typical school setting of becoming an engineer. We were actually working hands-on in the studio. So everything I learned from the time that I started engineering there, I mean, it's a multi-million-dollar facility working with, U87s and, 1176s, all that stuff. So we had all the best equipment. Really was able to spend my time there learning how to engineer, make my music sound good, because that's kind of where at the time I was just kind of lacking on the sound quality. Everyone was telling me like, you're a good rapper, you make dope beats, but your sound quality is lacking. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go to engineering school, get that figured out. And then did their whole program. Once I got out of their program of the actual engineering school, they hired me on as an engineer.
Nice.
So that's cool.
Yeah. So it was real cool, just coming straight from, most people got to work as an intern for a couple of years, you know what I mean? And I actually getting into a paid engineer position is something that really helped me learn a lot about the Denver hip hop community and just artists in general. And
that's a good opportunity there.
Yeah, it was great. So I did that for a couple of years, working and just build my skills up as far as mixing, mastering, recording, all that. But to be honest with you, I got kind of tired of working on other people's music all the time.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing, man. As an engineer, been working for studios. Yeah, get tired of working on other people's music. Just want to work on my own.
Yeah, especially when it's like, you do the whole track and then it's like, all right, cool, go ahead and throw auto tune on the whole verse and like auto tune this and auto tune that. I was like, I just got tired of it. So,
man,
it was a great experience, but I was just like, it's time for me to kind of move on from here after this and focus on my own music, because I had no time to work on my own music because I was working a 40-hour job and then also doing engineering. So it was, 2 jobs, and then trying to build up my own label. I was like, I need to quit this job so that way I can actually work on my own music and build something for myself. Otherwise, I'm going to be engineering here for forever and not being happy with it because I'm not getting my own creative output done.
Yeah.
Yo. Well, now it's a new golden era hip hop, though, right?
Yeah. So I mean, there was a point where I was just, working with all these other artists, and I called the studio owner at KMG, and they were always great to me. They were kind of shocked. I was just like, I gotta get off and start my own thing, and Shortly after that, it's kind of when COVID happened, you know, because the whole COVID shutdown happened. And so I lost my main job as well. But I was like, well, this is kind of a sign that I'm just going to pour everything that I have into New Golden Era, put it into the music marketing. And that's what I do. You know, I do full time is just music marketing and, you know, running the label and just helping support hip hop and just music in general, you know, getting people heard is really the goal.
Nice.
Well, congratulations on your success so far, man. I mean, you've been able to work with a lot of really dope artists and put out a lot of good music. We wanted to take a moment to kind of highlight a couple of tracks that you shared with us. I think that, you know, people like visuals. Wanted to get right into a video first, right? And so you got this new record out, fairly new, right?
Yeah, just came out on October 27th, I believe.
That's right.
Just right after opening day of the NBA season. So.
Oh, it makes sense. Okay, okay. I mean, we'll that'll all come to light here in just a moment. Mr. Puffalot, why don't you go ahead and break out this new music video that was done by 6 Element. It's a great little record.
Denver Thug It, correct?
That's right, Denver Thug It, baby.
Yep.
That's right.
That's
Denver in the building. Yeah, I love the samples here, man. It's a cool little record.
Yeah, man, I had to celebrate. You know, this is my celebration tracks.
I love it. It's in the building now, man. We out here.
Yeah.
So from Denver, man, are you familiar with Anthony's Pizza, man?
Oh, Anthony's Pizza, yeah, for sure. We have Anthony's Pizza. I live in. I'm outside of Denver and Brighton, and so we have one just right up the way.
That's where my wife got her first job, man. She was working.
Really?
She was making Anthony's Pizza.
That's funny because I don't think it was my wife's first job, but my wife also has worked at Anthony's Pizza.
So that's like humble beginning for everybody. Man. That's what people always start. Anthony's blew up though, man. It sounds like it anyway.
It's pretty solid pizza. I mean,
it's been there since like the 80s. Like it opened up right next to the first Starbucks or whatever. Well, not the Starbucks. What is it? Chipotle, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Or
if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it's either Chipotle or Cordoba. I guess I should know that, knowing that it's a Colorado company. But
oh yeah, come on now. That's funny, man.
They're California burritos, though. It's a Colorado company, but it's California burritos. In Colorado, our burritos are smothered in green chili usually. So
yeah. Again, I got a mother-in-law. There's holidays, man. I eat a lot of green chili burritos, dog. Yeah. That's a Colorado thing. Yo, that's dope. I'm glad you mentioned that. Shout out to the green chili covered burritos.
Yeah.
Yo, that's funny. All right. So here we go, man. New Golden Era. We're gonna check out Denver Thug It, produced by Johnny Slash.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We got 6 Element here.
Yeah, he crushes the beat. So everything he drops is super hard.
Excited to hear it again and let everybody check this out. All right, here we go.
We're also part of another legendary squad. It's the Nuggets team that was comprised of you, AI, JR, and the immortal Linus Plazer. That's what they call it. And I felt that too crazy. I was like, yo, everybody that see got cornrows. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a tattoo. You know what I'm saying? When I had a hair.
You would not allow that right now. No.
I don't want to be like, I'll chill too many braids.
Yeah. Cornrows, tattoos, white tees.
Straight up.
Out in Denver, we stay mellow when we puffin' on that la-la. JR swish with the Smith, ready to settle the drama. See, I'm well respected when I'm kicking this clean shit. World renowned for the way that I flip my Alex English. The ladies love me cause I'm a fly talker. Leave them floating in the air like David Thompson, Skywalker. They try to blackball me cause they can't stand 6 on my Abdul Rauf. I won't stand for that shit. When I leave the house, make sure my hats match my kicks. Write my rhymes with AI so I ain't gotta practice shit. In the Mile High City, nobody's rapping like this cause they was whipping that nene while I was on some backpack shit. You think you calling the shots? But not in my house. I got your girl in the studio and she's taking off her blouse. Remember back in the day, they used to all want to hate me. Now they all want a piece like they named Scott Hastings. They tried to box me out, but they ain't got the muscle. Tried to run on me, but they ain't got the hustle. No matter where I go, I always bring the ruckus. Travel state to state, remain a Denver thuggin'. They tried to box me out, but they ain't got the muscle. Tried to run on me, but they ain't got the hustle. No matter where I go, I always bring the ruckus. Travel state to state, remain a Denver thuggin'. Run the banners up. Salute to the champions. I grew up rap battling through mile-high labyrinths. Digging through crates, felt like I was digging for gold though. Picked up the microphone and started spitting blue arrows. Hit the stage feeling like Mr. Big Shot. Throw on some Johnny Slash beats and let that shit knock. See, it's well known when Six Element pops off. The groupies hit the streets like AG with they tops off. Back shots like Rocky. I hit it from half court. I asked them what they wanted and then I gave them what they asked for. We're getting mad raw. It's a new golden era. And hip-hop's been classified as a true global terror. Celebrating in the streets just to shut up the haters. While we hoisting that trophy, it's still fuck the Lakers. I'm taking the crown from you self-proclaimed kings. Call me Nikola Jokic, I'm Denver's MVP. They tried to box me out, but they ain't got the muscle. Tried to run on me, but they ain't got the hustle. No matter where I go, I always bring the ruckus. Travel state to state, remain a Denver thuggin'. They tried to box me out, but they ain't got the muscle. Tried to run on me, but they ain't got the hustle. No matter where I go, I always bring the ruckus. Travel state to state, remain a Denver thuggin'.
And Nuggets fans from sea to shining sea can rest or die in peace.
That's
I love it, man. It's an anthem, dude. It's an anthem. I know everyone around the way is going crazy for that, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's been it was a heavy hitter. I was like, it was just once we won that championship, I was like, I knew I had to drop
this is an opportunity. Yeah.
I mean, actually, I started writing it. So I guess a little story behind it. I wrote the first verse before we won the championship. Like I had the idea planned out because I had a feeling I was like, we're going to win this fucking year. We're going to do it. And so I started writing it and then I like put off the second verse actually until we had won the championship. So I was like kind of wanted to come with like the energy of like the past and then like the present and the future.
Yo, it is so good. It's like how at the ending you're just like, and it's still fuck the Lakers.
Yeah. I had to
cool song, man.
Yeah, I had to add that because it's like I said. I mean, I grew up here, and half the people were Lakers fans. You know what I mean? And it's just so we've always caught so much shit about. Oh, we got 17 championships. You got 0, and it's been that for ever. So I had to throw this in their faces, and every Lakers fan I know has got nonstop shit talking, and they're going to continue.
Yeah, they're like, you did it one time, man, one time. Yeah, no, just let it go. Yeah, I mean, DMV, it's the same thing, man. It's Commanders, Redskins, and then a lot of people are barking Cowboys over here,
Oh yeah.
So it's the same kind of drama over here, dude.
My brother, he hates the Commanders, Redskins, and he'll deck out his car with cowboy everything, and it's like, yeah, it's the same rivalry.
yeah, and the same kind of thing, man. Like raised here, and then just going some other route, dude. It's crazy.
We always have so many Thanksgivings with the Redskins versus Cowboys. And it's just like a traditional Thanksgiving like battle.
Yeah.
I love the imagery in this. I mean, it's Colorado to the fullest, dude. Like it's a crisp video. It's got a lot of switches and changes, man. It's just a really dope record. It's a dope video for sure, man.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I threw that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I like the rhyme structure that you have on that as well.
Oh yeah.
like we said earlier, is that confidence and that kind of cockiness is coming through,
Yeah.
And it's it bleeds, it bleeds all over the record. It's so good.
Yeah,
I love
man.
it.
Yeah, it's great quality. Sounds good, man.
Yeah,
I dig it. Nice energy.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, we just wrapped up October. Let's go ahead and hit them with Halloween Havoc. I added this to my Johnny Warbucks Halloween mix, man, which is just a mega mix of anything that's Halloween themed.
Nice.
By any degree. And so, just the name alone gave it the pass. And obviously we got you on it. We got Chino XL on it. And so it's perfect in the playlist there on Spotify. But Halloween Havoc featuring Chino XL. All right, with 6 cents. This one goes hard in the paint. This beat too, man.
Oh yeah, Wax 100 killed this one.
Good levels, my nigga. Good levels. Yeah.
I put the in and insane, but am I insane? They're trying to sell my fame while my frame is wrapped and draped in cellophane, and the strings trying to explain the way that my brain entertains actual pain, scribbling strange, transcendental medication like a Buddhist refusing Novocaine. I'm delivering an atmospheric masterclass in sound design that is half sulfuric and even surpassing purists with my wretched mind. Okay, I'm beating that ass into a retirement home that is built from Viking bones, strangled to death with a cordless unwired microphone. I have no idea what you're even rhyming for. Outspitting Chino was harder than trying to slam a rotting corpse to a revolving door. Written visions of a microdose firing through a sniper scope. Your flow is bitter like a whole inventory that is sold at $5 below. Genetic symmetries that I skillfully obtain. Altruistic, linguistic, twisted terrain that has insisted that I travel through the whispers of forested flame until I'm aged and walking with a mystic's cane. I move untamed into the interwoven wind and a blistering faceted acidic rain. I'm maintaining a plane full of hatred and shame. Innovation stain like sacred teleportations taking me places that are unnamed. I give them more feedback than a blues singer fainting. Been fulfilling a lyricism craving since I was a toddler finger painting. I'm jumping off at the top of the turnbuckle. I'm converted all concerned in trouble in a variable burn bubble. The words that I jousted a journal containing all verbals that have fertilized the infertile. My wisdom is a perfect curve circle, leaving the earth world curdle. Put you in a cobra clutch until your face is turning permanent purple. I'm in Oscar, delivering a classic backbreaker. My brother MVP drawn a flood of blood against the Undertaker. Terminate my limited derivative, you can't shine. I'm lyrically the most gifted, significant discovery in the history of mankind.
Jesus Christ.
Treat a rapper like a wrestler, the body slam on the slam. Free beat slamming like iron sheet. The beat down, you don't stop. Get your ass kicked. Treat a rapper like a wrestler, the body slam.
Showing up to your theater, smoking sativa, throwing rappers off stage like Topa Suicida. Kick a hole in your speaker, get some dome from your chica, then go to Casa Bonita for tacos and sopapillas. Uppercut, hit you straight to the jawbone. At Royal Rumbles, throw you over the top rope. On Monday nights, we going live with some raw flows like we the street prophets. Hit us up if you want smoke. In the 303, we hitting 619s. And every time we rock beats, you know the shit gets live. Kayfabe's alive, so in my mind, my gimmick and my life has been intertwined. Fighting champions, take on any contender. When I step in the arena, play my theme when I enter. Sixth element, the menacing hero, linked up with Chino XL, and we like FedEx and Zero.
Treat a rapper like a wrestler, the body slam. Free beats slamming like iron sheet. To the beat down, you don't stop. Get your ass kicked. Treat a rapper like a wrestler, the body slam.
It's ugly.
Real quick though. That's the real vibe.
Casa Bonita? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fucking dumb.
Sorry, Red, were you asking if Casa Bonita is a real spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I saw it on South Park. Like,
yeah, it's a real spot. It's a real place. It's been open in Colorado. It's like a Colorado
staple, man.
Staple. Exactly how you see it in South Park is exactly how it is. It went out of business during COVID, but the owners of South Park actually now own the place. Like they bought it.
What the fuck? Yeah. That's crazy, yo.
Yeah, so they actually own it. I haven't been back since they own it, but it's been open and operating under the Matt Parker and Trey Stone for
the
past year now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Dude, I love it.
Crazy.
The beat is amazing. The chops and cuts and the hook is amazing. Chino is just fucking intense. And then the contrast with Six coming in, mellowing it out, and still making sure every bar is what connects at the end of the day. Like it's still punchy, you know.
It's a great song. It's a great song. Totally.
Yeah. I really fuck with the Halloween Havoc record. I like the image. That where you got, what is it, Chino that's on the one side and then you're in the wrestler mask? Is that what that is?
Well, so I guess just kind of some more deep details behind, I guess, my concept behind the track. So it's actually Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Well, I figured it was based on.
Yeah, but it is actually.
I can see Chino and I can see you in it.
And that was my point. And so I'm glad that visual kind of strikes you like that, because that was that was my initial point behind it. Is I'm hoping people saw it that way, you know. But
yo, that's funny, man. We are like Mysterio, and okay, yeah, I like it. It's cool. And so then the Hulk slam him like a wrestler, you know.
Yeah. So the concept is actually based off of the 1997 Halloween Havoc match between Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio.
Okay.
And so that's where the whole concept came in. That's why it's not really a Halloween theme song. It's a wrestling theme song.
It's a wrestling theme song.
You know, drop it at Halloween, but it's based. When I got the beat from Wax 100, that's kind of, I was like, all right, I want to make a track that like resembles this match, you know. And if you actually take that match and like put it in like a 3-minute highlight and put it to the song, it like the tempo of that match actually matches the pace, because the way that Chino XL comes in with this intensity and like just the way that verse is just crazy. I mean,
he obliterated that, dude. That was game over.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna have to check that because I used to be really into like WWF back in the day, and like
I
remember all those fights and Eddie and Ray. That was great. And I actually saw yesterday. I don't know if this was the one where he slammed Ray Ray slammed Eddie like on the thing and hit his head, and they were doing an interview. He's like, "Remember that?" He's like, "Yeah, I remember that."
Yeah, they had a lot of classic matches. So yeah, I mean, I've just been very inspired by professional wrestling. I was into it back in the day, you know, Stone Cold, The Rock, all that.
Sure.
And then my son one day was like, "Hey, have you heard of John Cena and WWE?" And I was like, "Oh man, I have some shit to show you."
And then my guy though.
Yeah. So
man, let's get to your music, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, that's fun, man. I love it. I fucking love it. Warzone is coming up next here. We got Tragedy Gaddafi on the record.
Yeah.
We got Rusty Jux on the record. You know, Mr. Blab, KD the Stranger. This is a fire little posse cut right here.
Yeah, it's dope one. It's one of my first bigger drops that I had this year. So definitely came together pretty well from KD the Stranger. He's from Ukraine. So you know, obviously dealing with, you know, real Warzone shit right now, but he was the one who sent me over this track and you know, made it happen. So salute to Mr. Blap. Or I mean, not to KD the Stranger, who's the producer.
Word, man. This one goes in too, man. This is a lot of characters, a lot of spice, a lot of flavor. This beat is tight too, by the way. Yeah, he goes in with the beat.
I come from the war zone. Raised in a battlefield, all I see is tragedy. War zone.
Is that Black right there?
Every day it's sad to see another
that's Mr.
family. Raised in a battlefield, all I see is tragedy. War zone. I come from the war zone. Yo, y'all rappers just started spitting the shit that I've been wrote. I spit cannabis, hydroplaning for my kinfolk. Invincible, indivisible, rhyme indigo. Flow subliminal, rhyme ill type criminal. Hydroplaning on the interborough while I'm blowing dro. Anti-government, anti-commercial. I'm anti-everything, lyrics is manifesto. Maestro, retro, mic blow, what you expect though? Metro, to the tri-state, I'm like Destro. Cobra shit, squeezing them 60s, rocking a vesto. Osama Hussein, QB to Ukraine. Legend here, all in my vein, I carve a new lane. What? Freedom of speech, patriot act, freedom to cease. But at the very least, free all my people from the beast. I make Leviathan turn into a vegetarian. Honorarium, cherubim, I'm like a seraphim.
Oh, man.
Raised in a battlefield, all I see is tragedy.
He killed that shit.
Every day it's sad to see another lost family. Raised in a battlefield, all I see is tragedy. I come from the war zone.
The war zone, grab your guns and survival kit. Instinctively murder anybody I'm rivals with. I'm from the war zone, we call it Brook Norm. Catch a body real quick, never took long. Fuck the cops, they can suck a sick dick or eat 17 out the clip from Slick Vic. Raised in the gutter, live from Skid Row. That nigga whack, give a fuck if he did blow. Up on the scene, making mad green. He still can't fuck with the bars, I'm supreme. No lean, just train wreck pot. I seen the spirit lift out his body when the tech shot. You know I came up the hard way. All I know is squeeze, kill a cartel, sword way. 4 years old is when I first saw Chrome. Rusty jokes reporting straight from the war zone.
Damn, man.
Raised in a battlefield, all I see is tragedy. Every day it's sad to see another lost family. Raised in a battlefield, all I see is tragedy. I come from the war zone.
Started studying the art of war by Sun Tzu. Snatch mics cause I got harder bars, so fuck that shit. At the venue, there's rappers sneaking their guns through. If you rap over vocals, motherfuckers will snuff you. In the mile high, we do it something like the Old West. Used to meet at high noon to see who could flow best, but I don't battle no more. I'll challenge you to a duel. When the beat drops, we'll see who's fastest with the tool. If you rockin' them jewels, you best off to tuck them. If you don't lose them in the cypher, stick up kids is coming. On some gangstar shit, full clips is dumping. You on the far side now, there ain't no sense in running. Been a bizarre ride since I first saw mics. Put myself through boot camp, listening to Sean Price. Better watch your life, cause hip hop is a war zone, and bodies are dropping like Monday Night Raw's on.
I come from the war zone. Raised in a battlefield, all I see is tragedy. Every day it's sad to see another lost family. Raised in a battlefield, all I see is tragedy. I come from the war zone.
Man, all right, yo.
But I dug yours the best, man. I dug it all, but I dug yours the best. Man.
Yeah.
Some lines, man.
Hell yeah,
I mean, the shout outs always put a smile on our faces, man. And that Far Side bar where there's no need to stop running. The Sean Price boot camp. Yo, all of it was dope, man. I love it. Yo, man, but for real, like Tragedy, Russ, they came in and fucking did their shit, man. That shit was hot.
Yeah, for sure. They crushed it. So it's like, that's one of those things where this track, actually, like I said, I got it from KD the Stranger, and it was just kind of a situation where, unfortunately, he's been dealing with a lot of shit out in Ukraine, and he wasn't able to really put it out. So he's like, I know you got a platform to put it out. So I kind of, finished up the track for him. And, it's one of those times where it's, with all the people that I've been working with recently, it's just really helped me elevate my standard to where, I feel that I have needed to be. And that was a track that kind of helped spur that on as well.
I would imagine that it would build like a lot of traffic having a couple of these, some legacy rappers,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, one thing is like, I feel like people gotta realize honestly, having some of those verses, it is almost kind of like a marketing package as well too. I mean, you get a verse from someone, and you get a Chino XL verse, you put that on Spotify, that triggers the algorithms of Chino listeners, and it brings a whole new audience to me. And that's why I'm really trying to collab as much as I can and just build build that community as far as finding those listeners.
Yeah, it's good, man.
We went to go to see that LL Cool J show. Johnny Boy here, like, just put we have arrived type post, right?
Yeah.
Like, run around with the camera, and then LL Cool J reposted that.
Oh.
And that video is still climbing. It's almost 17K fucking viewers of just us being like, we out here, at this LL Cool J concert, and it's the Rapper's Corner that's been posted, and so that's gravitated energy our way too. And that's just a little thing, man. And sometimes it takes just that one little pop, man, to get a little more seasoning.
More reach.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's super cool, man. That's super cool.
And I think our artists need to. They just, all around need to start stop seeing each other as competition, and just really start seeing us all as, it's all a community. It's even with like that Chino XL track. I came into it knowing like I'm never going to outspit Chino XL, but how am I going to tell a story with this? How am I going to present this to the listeners? You know what I mean? It's not a competition. It's music, and if we all help, you know, instead of like passing by the next dude's post, like share that shit. You share that, he's gonna share your post. Like we can all support each other. You know, it's not a competition.
That's a healthy attitude. Yes,
that's a great philosophy because like we kind of live that as well.
That's
like,
what we are. Yeah.
Don, he flows super fast. Amin flows like on the mellow, and I flow like here and there. But none of us can be like, "Oh, I'm better than you are," because you can't. What I can do, I can't do what you can do, and none of us can do. But we all unite, and make something awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just it's that variety that you're going to catch the people who are into this specific sound, right? And they come out for one thing, they might discover another, and it just builds. So. Yeah. I mean, the only time I'm coming at somebody is if I'm on a battle. If I'm in a battle, if I'm in a cipher where it's like someone's coming at me, or something like that. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely trying to show up and be the nicest one in the room. But that's neither here nor there. You know, it's just about getting each other built to a higher ground, man. All ships rise in the tide. You know.
Yep.
So that's always been my thought process. I'm a community-driven cat, and so are we down here with Red and Puff. And what you're doing with Golden Era is the same kind of shit, man.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool, man. Really cool.
Yeah.
You got and you got good music to back it up, man. It's not just like you're doing this thing. You're doing a lot of things, man. Putting a couple of different feathers in the cap. So.
Yeah. A lot of feathers up there, man.
Dog. Yeah.
Sometimes I need to start taking it.
Start removing plucking some feathers out.
But we really appreciate you coming through, and we really appreciate what you do, man. So if you need any help in the future, just let us know. You're always welcome to come back. Definitely want you back. But if you in the meantime, in between time, gotta, whatever, because I respect what you're doing a lot. We're trying to do the same thing over here, you know what I mean? So like you said, we work together and things can happen, you know what I mean? And then the other thing I was going to say was when I do go over to Colorado, maybe we can link up or something, man, spit a few bars and get some stuff done, man. That'd be cool. I'd be honored to do stuff with you, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'd be dope, man. I mean, let me know when you come through. If you come through in the like spring or summertime, that's usually best time to come through. I mean, we do have 300 days of sunshine a year, so it's not like it's not like it's cold like everyone really thinks it is out here. But I mean, spring, summertime are usually a pretty good time to come out here. So.
Yeah. What's up, man? I'll definitely let you know, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, man, it was nice meeting you today, and thank you for coming on.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys for having me.
Do you have any projects coming up or anything that you want to plug in here?
I don't have anything like out to distribution right now or ready to fully announce. I definitely have a lot of tracks coming out with Wax 100, who produced Halloween Havoc. I have about 10 tracks coming out with him. I have another track coming out with Johnny Slash next year. Really, also just trying to fully line up some collaborations that I'm going to be working on. One thing I am really excited about here, it's not officially announced yet, but I am going to have a track dropping here with Esoteric of Zarface. Coming up here either at the end of this year or maybe the beginning of 2024. So
love it. Fuck with Esoteric. That's gonna be hot. That's gonna be hot. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's a crazy one. It's a crazy one. So
yeah, man.
So be sure to support Six Element by liking and following the social media content. That's at 6 IXTH_element. You can check out his music available right now on Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, right here on YouTube. Stream it, download it, like it, comment on it, share it with others, man.
Yep, man. All the stuff will be in the description below, guys.
You have been listening to the rapper. You got one more thing you want to plug?
Yeah, one more thing. Just newgoldenerahiphop.com as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, please check out newgoldenerahiphop.com. You have been listening to the Rapper's Corner, and if you have enjoyed this episode and want to hear more hip hop content like this, please like, comment, subscribe, click the bell. Share this episode with other hip-hop heads in your life, and then help keep us building this little movement that we got going on. TRC is on all social media platforms with hip-hop related content, daily news clips, reels from all of our projects, music playlists, and more. Just type in the Rapper's Corner on Facebook, X, Instagram, or TikTok. Check out our sister podcast right here on TRC. Remember the Record, to hear Kalishnikov and I discuss, take a look back on classic hip-hop tracks from back in the day. These are deep dives into your favorite overlooked and forgotten rap songs and albums, including stats, lyrics, and video breakdowns, trivia, and some this, that, versus style games. Music inspired by the records created by Kalishnikov Red. Always a fun podcast. We got new episodes dropping monthly. Of course, you can find us, Kalishnikov Red, Puffalot on social media platforms, bringing you new music regularly, more TRC, RTR content. Once again, this has been the Rapper's Corner. My name is Johnny Warbucks, here with Sir Puffalot, Kalishnikov Red, and then this has been Denver's, Colorado's own
Six Element. Woo! Yeah.
Yeah.
We out here, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming through, man. We out.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.